CricketSong with Lunar Wisdom, and today's topic is reversing spells, reversing bindings and banishings. Now, I was inspired to do this video because I had a subscriber ask me about this, and that is why I'm making this video. The first thing I want to discuss is magic. Now, you're going to get all of this from my perspective, my understandings, my definitions. You don't have to agree. Take it, leave it, shut off the video, whatever you choose to do, because I am not by any means saying that my way is the right way and the only way. Okay, so magic from my perspective is energy, and energy incorporates everything. Energy incorporates spells, it incorporates curses, jinxes. It's energy with intention. You know, everything in my understanding is made of energy. From this pen to this paper to a spell I create. Spells and magic, of course, I view as a higher vibration than the pen. It is a higher and lighter energy. This, because it's a physical object, is a more dense energy, a more dense matter. It's made of physical matter. I also perceive energy as sort of falling into two categories. It's a spectrum, and on one hand we have creative, and on one hand we have destructive, but of course there's all variations within, and you may even find a spell which incorporates both destructive and creative. From my understanding, my perspective, and my experience, destructive spells or destructive energy is a heavier and a more denser vibration than the creative spells, or the creative spells, which are more lighter and more higher vibration. That's from my experience. Your experience may be different. So when I go into wanting to do a reversal of a spell, if it is something that I haven't done, because I'm looking at this from two different perspectives, we could be talking about reversing something that I've done, or reversing something that someone else has done. Now, there are different schools of thoughts on this. There is the idea that when you do a reversing, it reflects back only to the originator of the spell and will only reflect back any harmful intent that was done, was sent with intention. Now, when you start Googling, you'll find that some reversal spells suggest that you use a red core. It's a black candle with a red core. And what you generally do is, or what they do if you use that, you anoint the candle in two directions. You start at the middle and anoint up and anoint down. That is to return the harm to the sender and keep the blessings with the person, the receiver. And they're often burned upside down to reverse what was sent out. And it's usually done on some sort of reflective surface, like a mirror or something else, foil, aluminum foil that may reflect it back. Now, the idea is when you're doing a reversal, well, here we go. We're going to go to what I feel needs to be done. If I have a client that comes to me and says to me that I have a curse or a hex on me, and I need it, I know it was my neighbor, I need it to be sent back, CricketSong, can you help me? The first thing that I do personally before I help them, I suggest that we use some form of divination, whether they want me to do the reading or they want to do the divination on their own. But let's find out if this is really a curse or a hex. If someone really sent intention, harmful intention to you, and it's not something different. Perhaps it's not even a curse. Perhaps it is negative energy that's built up in their house, and they're just dealing with just the negative energy that's collected there, but they think it's a curse. Perhaps it could be a spirit that's trying to get their attention, and they're misinterpreting what is happening to them as a curse. Maybe it's themselves. Maybe they've set up something and they've put up a block themselves. You know, you're not going to discover this until you do some sort of divination. And if someone's coming to me, obviously, because I'm a tarot reader, I'm going to suggest a reading, and we're going to do a tarot reading to discover if it is indeed a curse. So number one is drawing out the curse, discovering whether the person is cursed, and who or what it is. Is it a curse? What kind of curse? And who is it that did the curse? So we're going to draw out. We're going to find out the information. Okay, now say it is discovered that it is a curse and that it is the neighbor. Now what we want to do is we want to push away the curse. We want to remove the curse from your personal field, auric field, or electromagnetic field, and push it away. So we want to push it away or remove it. So then that's the next step. And then after we remove the curse or push it away or reflect it, however we're going to do it, then the last step, and the very important step that I feel people sometimes skip or don't even do, is healing from this curse, healing from the damage that was done. So that would, then the individual who has had the curse removed needs some healing, and we'll do that. So those are the 3 steps that I do in removing a curse. We figure it out, we draw out the curse to see if it's really a curse, we will remove the curse if it is, and then we want to do some healing for the person who has been cursed or hexed. So here's an example. I mean, I sort of gave you an example, but here's a more detailed example that I wrote out. Okay. John came to me, and a client. This is just an example. It's not a real life situation. John comes to me and says, I think I'm cursed. So I do a tarot reading, or he's had a stroke of bad luck, or whatever, however, and he thinks he's cursed. So I do a tarot reading, and I discover that, you know what, you're in the one situation that you're talking with me, John, about having a bad time at work. You're right. There is a coworker that has become an obstacle in you getting this promotion. So we did the tarot reading, and we found that the card crossing is a coworker. So then John is going to do a curse, and this is another thing. A reversal. People do come to me and ask me to do the spells for them. And I must tell you all right now, and I always tell people, I do not do the spell for you. I help you and guide you to craft your own spell, and you do it. You obtain the ingredients. I will help you write the spell, but it's your words, and I guide you through this. So you're the one that's going to do the spell for yourself. I'm not going to do it on your behalf. If you live in my area, I will help you. I will be present with you if you want me in circle while you do the spell as a guide to help with it, but you're going to do it yourself. So in this case, in my scenario here, John is going to do a spell. So what he's going to do to remove this obstacle, to draw out this curse, to remove it from him, he's going to hold a mirror in his hand, and he's going to hold it where the mirror is not looking at him, but looking out from him. And he's going to walk around his circle that he's cast, Windershins, not Diaso, Windershins, and he is going to say or chant while he's doing this, circle of reflection, circle of protection, may the sender of all harm feel the power of my charm. and he is going to say that. It's simple. He does it, he closes ritual, that's his spell. He's going to take that mirror, he is going to place it on the front door or in the front portal or wherever it is of his home, apartment, wherever. And then he is going to work on healing from this spell, from this curse. And how would he heal? My suggestion in this scenario would be to build some self-confidence about himself at work, because the whole situation has occurred at work. And if you remember, the obstacle was a co-worker standing in his way of getting a promotion. So he's going to build on his confidence and his personal ability. He's going to work on his motivations, his skills, and he's also going to practice some personal shielding. Because my feeling is that a person a witch can only curse or hex you if you at some way, at some level, at some vibration have allowed this to occur. The curse will only work if you believe it's going to work, in my opinion. So if John had gotten himself in this situation where he was cursed or hexed, it's because on some level he didn't feel confident enough and secure enough and felt that he wasn't good enough and was weak. And so then this person took advantage of that and worked on him and ended up doing this. Now that is how I would remove or do a reversal of a curse or a hex that was done to me. If you could find out specifics of what the curse was that was done, I mean, if you have evidence of the curse, it would be helpful. But again, the number one thing is to determine whether it is actually a curse or not. Now, in regards to reversing a spell that I've done myself, if you've done a binding, and the one that comes to mind is when you are hand fasted. If you're hand fasted, that is a binding spell that was done. So, in order to reverse a binding, you would do a parting. So a hand parting. Also, when you build a relationship with someone, if you do a ritualistic, like a mentor teacher, if I am your mentor, if you're taking one of my classes, or you are working in class in person, we do a binding, a vow between the two of us, and if it doesn't work out, again, we do a parting. This is something that we do. If you bind yourself to someone or to a situation, then my feeling is you want to do a parting with that person or that situation. If you've done a banishing and you've changed your mind, you've banished a person or a situation out of your life and you've changed your mind, then my feeling is you want to do a drawing in, an evoking, or a manifesting. So for example, if I did a banishing of a job situation, I've banished that from my life, and now I changed my mind and I want that job or that type of job, then I would do a spell to invite it back into my life and manifest the qualities within myself that would align myself with that particular intention. That is how I personally would do reversals of spells, or to reverse a binding or a banishing. If you have any questions in regards to these or anything else, please leave a comment or send me a personal message and I'll get back to you. And as always, guys, I love you. Mwah.